Hi. Hello. I decided to go live early today because I didn't want to wait till too late because technically I'm on chapter 2 and I didn't want to forget the things that I wanted to discuss with you guys about chapter 1. Especially for those that started the challenge today. So, if you were on my live last night, I invited each and every one of you to join me in my book club. So, I'm not really a person that's an avid reader. However, this book was brought to me by a friend of mine, and it's called A Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. Let me pin it. And of course it doesn't want to pin. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay, so it is called A Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren. For those of you that were asking in the DM about the author, it's Rick Warren. So yes, that is the book. I've been seeing that book for years. My mom had it when I was a little girl in the bathroom, and I never picked it up. But it's never too late to read. So for those of you that are joining in on the challenge, I wanted to go ahead and get started on day 1. So we're going to be talking about chapter 1. And chapter 1 was a pretty short chapter. It was only I think about 8 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 plus a couple words on the 8th page. So very short chapter, easy to get through. And then after, there was a 40-minute audio that kind of dove deeper into the purposes that are kind of written out for you. So what I took from it so much was that when we try to discover our purpose on our own, we often get lost. It's a dead end because the purpose is not something that wasn't created before we were here. So if we have a creator, that means that our purpose lies with the creator. And the example that I liked that the book used was that if you're given an invention, you wouldn't know how to work the invention. You have to refer to the instruction manual, which is from the person that created the invention. So we're no different. We are beings that have a creator. So if we were to seek out purpose, we would have to seek it through our creator. Now, luckily for us, I don't know what some of your belief systems is, but I'm Christian. So my owner's manual is the Bible. For you, it may be the Torah. For you, it might be something else, so whatever it may be for you. You seek your owner's manual, whatever that is. Unless you're atheist, then you don't have one. And even the book quotes an atheist in actually the very first part of the chapter. And the atheist says, unless you assume a God, the question of life's purpose is meaningless, which is absolutely true, because if there is no God, then there is no purpose. So then you could just completely stop reading the book altogether. But for those of you that do believe that there's more to life, this book is going to be amazing for helping us dive deeper into that. So day 1 is basically on the premise of it's not about us. It starts with God. So our purpose is way more bigger, way more big than ourselves. So if it's not about us, then who? It's about different things that we can achieve while we're here. So I actually got this from the audio part. They dove deep into like basically the 5 purposes that God had set for us. And the first one was worship. So worship is to love God, to believe that there's a God, to be faithful, and to worship God. So you may do that by going to church. You may do that by praising, by praying, whatever it may be. So worship is number 1. Number 2 is fellowship. This one is where I struggle. And that's basically connecting with other believers. So I've always found myself going to church and not really reaching out to other people. I would just go in the building, do my worship, and then exit, and I wouldn't really sit around and get to know other people. So that's where I could for sure get better. And that's also another reason why I wanted to bring this to Instagram, because I wanted to open up the opportunity to have my followers kind of join me and join me in fellowship. So one interesting fact that I had wrote down about that is, and you know I'm big on the psychology stuff. So it says, studies show living a life in isolation lives to being 3 times more likely to die early, 4 times more likely to suffer emotional burnout, 5 times more likely to be clinically depressed, and 10 times more likely to be hospitalized for a mental or emotional disorder. So with that being said, it's very evident that living a life in isolation is not the way, and actually building a community to support you and for you to support is necessary for life. So yes, that's fellowship, connecting with others. The third is ministry, so giving something back. However you may think that you can contribute, it is a sin if you have something to give and you don't give it back, especially when it's something like knowledge, because knowledge is free. It's not like if you give it away, you lose it forever. It's something that is infinite. So giving back to your people that you fellow with would be great. And then discipleship is the 4th, and that is basically cultivating spiritual maturity. I wrote down a quote because this one really resonated with me. I loved it. I felt like it was so beautiful. So it says, how do you know that you're spiritually mature? It says, you know you're physically mature when you're able to reproduce, right? Obviously. And then you know that you're mature spiritually when you start reproducing yourself spiritually. In other words, when other people start to grow in their faith because of you. And I feel like that is just such a powerful responsibility, because what better way to know that you make a difference than to see someone really grow and to be better for themselves. Another reason why I'm bringing this to Instagram Live, because I don't know who is out there and who may be needing this kind of message, but I felt like it was my duty as somebody with a platform and somebody that has people that for some reason find me interesting, for whatever reason it may be. Maybe it's my looks, maybe it's the way that I dress, I don't know. But I feel like I could take advantage of that and really try to dive deeper and to connect with you guys. So that really resonated with me. And then the last one is outreach. So passing on the news to others. So like I said about knowledge earlier, if I have all this knowledge and I know all of these things, but I'm not passing it on, that's a sin. So being able to have news like, I'm not here by accident. I have a purpose. You have a purpose. We all do. I can't just keep that to myself. So I'm not. I'm going to be sharing it with each and every one of you. So those are the 5 purposes that we have. So for those of you that just tuned in, it's worship, fellowship, ministry, discipleship, and outreach. And again, I'm going to post this in my Instagram TV. So you'll see all the 40 days in my Instagram TV. If you're busy right now or you missed it, you're just seeing the end of it, it will be reposted. But I hope that you guys join in the challenge, and that, you know, that way you can kind of share with me this whole experience and know exactly what I'm talking about, because if you're just not reading the book, it might not make that much sense to you, and I'm trying to explain it in the best way that I can, to kind of get it to catch on and lure you in. Because I just feel like it's something that can really resonate with all of us and help us spiritually grow. So guys, thank you for tuning in. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow for day 2 of a Purpose Driven Life Challenge.